All right, so I woke up this morning and decided I wanted to make some cinnamon rolls. I've never made these or any other pastry for that matter. All right, so without looking up a good recipe, I went right to the store and bought everything that I thought I needed to make these cinnamon rolls. While I was shopping, I decided, hey, it'll be cool if I made some strawberry cinnamon rolls. I've had regular cinnamon rolls before. Again, what's the worst that can happen, you know? I get home, I go right into mixing up the dough, milk, yeast, food coloring for the strawberry effect. I did end up heating the milk up too much on this one and I killed the yeast. So the dough you're watching me make right now didn't even rise. This is me, trying to knead the dough. I saw someone do this on YouTube. So I told the dough, hey, I need you. I let it know how much I needed it for about 10 minutes and it still didn't rise. It still didn't, grasp the concept that I needed it. So this right here is actually the dough that I actually remade, and I did get frustrated and didn't want to make the cinnamon rolls anymore. So I just popped it right into the the fridge. And yeah, that was a big mistake. This is me just breaking down that dough. It rose, it came out pretty great. But I shouldn't have put it in the fridge, and I'll tell you all later. These are just some fresh strawberries I bought. Chop those bad boys up to make my syrup. This was probably maybe the longest part of me actually preparing the cinnamon rolls was chopping up the strawberries. And this is actually another day. This is actually day 2 of me making these cinnamon rolls since I got frustrated and didn't want to make them the day before after the dough didn't rise like I needed it to. So yeah, I watch videos of creators on TikTok and YouTube, Instagram all the time. You're going through your recipes, you're cooking it. It looks like it's going good. It looks like it's going really good. But I get up to do it and I spend, yeah, I'll let you know how long this really took at the end of the video. You'll see. But shout out to all the chefs out there that are doing their thing on social media as a creator and making this look really, really easy. And this is just me making the syrup right here. Just add some sugar and put that on the stove. And this is actually another big mistake. Well, I wouldn't say this is a big mistake since I needed to make the syrup. This is me draining the strawberries. I guess the mistake I made was not letting those strawberries dry out enough. I should have put them in the dehydrator and let them dehydrate after I made the syrup, because this is where the disaster actually starts. This is me rolling out the dough fresh out of the fridge before I even needed it. I should have waited to roll out this dough because after I'm done rolling it out, I just sit it out on the stove and it begins to sweat. So I'll just show you when it comes to that part. But this is me making the cinnamon mix, which I should have made this separately. I shouldn't have added the sugar in with the strawberries because the excess juices from me not dehydrating them, letting them dry enough, just melted the sugar completely. So it made this weird mixture, just like this weird mixture. And this is me making the icing for the cinnamon rolls, just something quick. That's me using the syrup. That's what I made the syrup for, so I can make my icing pink and strawberry-ish. All right, and this part right here is when I'm the most disappointed in myself throughout the whole ordeal here. I put my weird filling on top of my sweaty cinnamon roll dough. It's so loose and moist that I can barely roll it. You'll see the tears right here in the cinnamon roll dough. I eventually just wrapped it in foil and put it in the freezer because I couldn't cut it. So I had to freeze it just to be able to cut the dough and make cinnamon rolls. So I did the heavy cream thing, popped it in the oven, and they actually came out looking pretty good. And in the middle of icing in these, putting the icing on them. Granted, these were very delicious. They came out very good. I was putting icing on it, and I was like, I can use a crunch on these. So I didn't feel like going to the store, so this is day 4. This is day 4 of me making freaking strawberry cinnamon rolls, bro. 4 days. All right. So I made my strawberry shortcake crunch to put on top of my cinnamon rolls, and I used the rest of the cinnamon rolls I had in the freezer, cut those up, put them in a pan, baked them. Yeah. All right, so this is me repeating the steps of throwing some of that. I wouldn't even call this icing. It's more of like a spread. It didn't come out as icing to me, but it still was very delicious. Maybe I should have added some more powdered sugar or something to give it like a whip feel, more of a whip feel. But yeah, I don't know. So please tell me if you do. And this is me just adding the crumble on there. And these actually came out really delicious in the end. I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I kept pushing myself to keep going through this for 4 agonizing days and not wasting money. Yeah, so I enjoyed this. Very moist, very tasty, very, that crunch on top gave it like the extra boost that it needed. And it actually wasn't over sweetened. Just let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed this recipe, this video, this story time. If you have any constructive criticism that you can give me, or any recipes that you've done that I could take a look at. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Squad. Oh, and make sure you learn from my mistake. Never ever start cooking anything, especially if you don't have a complete plan and it's your first time cooking it, man.